What is going on YouTube?
It's a lot warmer than it should be. I don't feel like this is January going into February, but good news is the weather's going to cool back down. But we're here to show you what the warm weather has done to the ice.
Yeah.
It's honeycombed it a little bit, as expected on the top. I mean, it was 60 degrees yesterday, so. But a lot of the open areas didn't get too much more open. We're standing on Sisseton right now. And it's still, what, 40-some degrees as we're standing here. So it's warmer than it needs to be. A little bit of wind, but not too bad. Not the gale force winds we had the other day. that blew everything across the ice and got a lot of sand and dirt on the ice as well. So you might want to sharpen up the auger blades. It might dull them out a little bit. But everyone got their hard shacks off the ice, which was good because I said it was definitely a lot warmer than we wanted to be. But thankfully we had a good layer of good solid ice. And other than it being uneven and looking kind of weird when you're out there, is when I had the side-by-side out on Wednesday. It was a little bit eerie driving over that like that and seeing high spots. You just kind of stayed on the high side.
Yeah.
But there was nothing I seen that made me nervous with my side-by-side. And like I said, everything's getting down below freezing at night, so it is hardening it up a little bit. And tonight I think it's going to get down in the 20s, so like low 20s, so that'll help. That'll help. So.
Yep. Well, we're up on Sisseton. I got the drone up so you guys can kind of see what's going on up here. After this, we'll drill a hole, kind of show you how the ice drills. Then we'll stop at Bud and Hall and see what those look like. But I suppose,
are we ready?
We'll see.
All right, here we go.
Drill half a hole and then stop with it and see if we have any water seepage. Not seeing anything filling up.
That's good, and
that's perfect.
Good fine chunks yet. You're not seeing big chunks. You can tell the honeycomb stuff when you start getting the. You can see the bigger chunks from the top. But the rest of it's good.
It's still plenty good ice.
Well, let's see. We don't have the measure out here with us, but.
No, I think there's still about 15.
I said I don't think we lost anything.
It's just softened up on the top a little bit.
Yep, a little bit of chunks on the top, but nothing major. Like I said, it's getting colder at night, so that's good. That's a good thing. So good to see here. Obviously, you'll see on the drone footage from Sisseton that the seam is still there, and that's opened up even more because with the warm weather, all the heaves fell down. So now you cannot see them, you can't see at all where the open water is. Even walking, you need to be aware because you could walk right into open water and not realize it. Because now that ice isn't floating there anymore, it's gone. So it'll refreeze hopefully, but just remember where those spots are because we don't want to see anybody find them and, have a bad day. And definitely with a four-wheeler or anything like that, if you're driving it out, you need to be full aware of where those are.
Yep. So as we talked about in the last video, how I was talking about white ice and then darker ice. So you can tell where the seams are and where the open water is. It's a darker ice. So now's the time to watch out for that. Just because of how the top is. That little bit of softening honeycomb on the top turns the ice a lighter color. So the darker stuff is the water coming through the ice. So where those seams are, where the heaves were, stuff like that, it looks a little bit darker. So watch out for that this weekend.
Yep, watch out for that this weekend and just be careful. As we say, make sure you bring all your good gear with you. Get your spud bar with you just in case if you're going to be close to those open water areas. Make sure you keep in mind. But a lot of the spots where the fish are, it's not too far from shore right now at this moment again, so you don't have to really worry about that. You can kind of walk out, bring your sled, and it's going to be nice out, so minimal gear, kind of like we do late ice and early ice, same kind of situation. The fish aren't. There is good pods of the yellow bass close to shore, so keep that in mind too. So if you're afraid to drive out or afraid to bring your side-by-side, well, like I say, Lamborghinis work great. They work great.
That they do. Well, we'll go over to Bud and see what's going on there. We're on, Bud.
Made to Bud.
Yep.
Made it out here safely.
We got the rig out on the ice.
Say Bud doesn't have any open water, just that heave from the last video is still there out in the middle, random spot. But other than that, Bud's looking pretty good. Clearly the ice has taken a little bit of a beating from the warm temps, but we haven't lost much. And it's only honeycombed a little bit. it's got that late ice look, but still has the early ice strength, so that's good.
Yeah, even walking on it, you're not scruffing anything up yet unless you scrape it real good with your cleats.
Yeah.
But I'll drill a hole out here, kind of show you guys what we have.
Oh, she cuts like butter.
And he's not saying it cuts like butter because it's bad ice. This E40 drill with that new 2.0.
That there is pretty awesome. And then
that thing, it doesn't matter. You have the hardest ice around. It's
as you can see, I know I see people talking about not wanting these because of, you know, they're heavy or whatever, but yeah, she's light. I mean, there's nothing to this thing. It is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It is
Looks
awesome.
like we got about the same amount the last time we measured.
Yeah, we didn't lose it, so we're still at that 15 and a half.
I pulled a rookie move and didn't throw my measuring stuff in, so we're not going to get an actual number on it today.
As a guy who works construction, not have a tape measure available either. Come on.
Well,
jeez.
We could run back to the truck because I think I have about 5 of them in there. So we'll stop
use that.
by on the way to haul.
Yeah, we'll use that.
Yeah, I got plenty in the truck, just nothing in the Can-Am. You know, I fish with this one and work out of that one.
Yep. Yeah. We don't usually have to use a tape measure much when we're measuring ice there. So.
Yep. But no, everything looks pretty good out here on Bud. It's just the normal same old stuff. Be safe. The top of it's honeycombing just a little bit, but it's not bad at all.
Yeah, and the accesses have held up really good. That's always the main point. That's where the weakest spots are, and you know, with everybody driving on vehicles and stuff, it kind of beats it up. But they have held up pretty good, and then thankfully we didn't have any snow or any melt. You know, had we had snow on the ground and had a lot of melt, there would have been a lot more water sitting at the, you know, at the accesses or on the edges.
Right.
And then it eats away on the edges, and then you get that open water spots coming down. But other than that, we haven't had that at all, which is great.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that's up to you on driving out. I would hold off on that, but
yeah. Especially, I mean, it's supposed to be warm this weekend too. So
yeah, I think we got like a high of 38 Saturday and a high of 50 on Sunday. So it's going to be warm. So you're going to want to be careful. I mean, I'm not saying you can't. It's up to you, but I would plan on bringing a wheeler or side-by-side or just walk out. Like I said, the fish aren't far out. They're not hard to find, so you aren't going to have to walk miles before you get to them. So, you know, bring light gear since it's going to be nice out. Bring a sled behind you and walk out and have fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Because the fish have been biting. There hasn't been any slowdown. They're very active. You just got to find the active schools. As we say, drill, baby, drill, but then move around. If you get on fish that won't bite, move, find another school, find the more active fish. Because yes, you can be on fish that won't bite. It does happen, and basically you drop down, and if they don't bite in the first 5 minutes you're there, off to the next one.
Yep.
Move.
Definitely.
Still going to be the red spikes and the pilkey has kind of been the hot ticket. That's just...
So what's been working?
It's been working for the last 4 years. If it's not broke,
longer than that.
I say, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
We don't get any money from those guys either. They work for everything. I use them all year round in the boat, through the ice, all the time. Just a great all-around bait. There's something about that chain, and then what's great about that pilkey is it's heavier, so in order to get down to these fish and keep them under you, it gets down there, gets back there quick, because you know sometimes you find them in that 17-18 foot of water, so you need something that drops quick and gets to the top of the school so they don't leave, and so you don't have to chase them all day.
Yep. Well, I'm not gonna fly the drone here. Bud doesn't really have any of those big heaves with open water on it, so I'm gonna save that. Hopefully this wind dies down a little bit.
Yeah, hopefully we can get up on haul.
Yeah,
that's got a little more.
Get it on haul.
That's got a little more character with the heaves in the open water. Haul's a little bit of a danger zone, and we'll kind of go over all that for you guys and just show you, what to look out for, because you can't really see it now because all those heaves have fallen down, so it's really tough to see. And with the sun out, maybe you can see the water, the glare from the water, but it's tough to see, and with the ice being slick like it is, it'd be hard to stop before you get to it.
Definitely. Well, we'll head across the road. Well, we're out on haul now.
But guess what? We forgot the tape measure. But anyways.
Yeah.
That's okay.
We were chatting on the way by the truck, and I was like, wasn't I supposed to stop at the truck, thinking it in my head? And then we got out on haul, and I was like, oh yeah, tape measure.
And we're out here in the middle, kind of out by where that seam or crack is, and you'll see in the drone footage is how open it is and how much further it's made it across since the last time we showed you.
Try and place us on here so that I can get the video up.
It has come across a long ways, and like most people do when they're driving is you go to the middle because you think the middle is the safest spot to drive. Well, in this case, if you're coming across Hall, you're not going to want to do that because you're going to find that crack and it's not going to hold you.
The only way you're getting around it is to go to the east side.
Yeah.
And it's, well, from where it stopped before, it's probably moved 150 yards, 200 yards to the east.
It's moved a long way.
It's moved a long ways.
Yeah, it's almost, I mean, I was kind of thinking it might make it all the way across when I was out here in that Wednesday when it was nice out because it got a lot bigger, but yesterday it didn't get any further this way, which is good. So, but it's there, and we stressed about it before. It's the same situation. You're not going to want to try to cross that with anything.
Right.
You're going to want to go around it, but it's out here, and you can pretty much walk right up to it. The ice is good all the way up to it, and there is still, even where there is water, there's still ice. You'll see in the drone footage, you'll see there's still ice under it that had fallen down, but that stuff's floating, so if you do step on that, it's not going to be very sturdy.
Yeah.
So, but it's there. It's there. But the good news is, you know, everybody's worried about these warm temps, and thankfully it hasn't destroyed everything. The edges are staying good. Like I said, we didn't have a lot of snow or any moisture on the ground, so therefore none of that ran in and made the edges weak, because when you get the edges start giving away, then you've got water from the bottom and the top, you know, melting from the bottom and the top, and then it doesn't take long to lose 15 inches of ice like we saw last season.
Yep.
So, as long as the edges hold, we're good, because the water temp is still 39 degrees because of the fact that we don't have any snow. But this is really great.
I was gonna say, the only nice thing about getting a little honeycomb on the top of the ice is it might stop that sun from penetrating a little bit better.
Correct. It has definitely grayed the ice. It's not as clear, so that's a good thing, because then you won't have that mirror effect to really heat the water up, and maybe once it cools down it'll harden up, and maybe we'll get to that 17, 18, 19 inches of ice that we should have right now.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy to think, as cold as it's been, that we aren't that far. But, you know, I've been on the river a few times in the shaded areas, and I had 20 inches of ice in a spot on the river, which was just crazy. But that's the stuff that, you know, was shaded. It had a little bit of snow cover somehow still left on it, and that's how much thicker it got in that cold snap.
Oh yeah.
But no, it's good out here. I'll drill a hole again. Nothing to measure it with, but we haven't lost anything. He's still good, solid, and everything's flaking up nice. We don't have any big chunks. You know, when you get those big chunks, and you can kind of tell, and you can watch your auger, because you'll know the weaker spot. You'll start drilling, it'll go real fast, or really fast, and slow down when you get to the good ice. But this ice is good all the way to the top. Not much honeycombing, thank goodness. And thankfully, the lows have been getting, you know, below freezing at night, so that's a good thing. It's helped harden things up, keeping it there. You know, those days where we get, you know, you get a 60-degree day and then it only gets in the 40s in the evening, then we have issues real fast. But thankfully that's not happening, and like I said, Monday things are going to cool down, so good deal.
Definitely.
It's just weird how we're going to go from 60 to 40 to 30 to 50 to 20.
Yep.
That's just been the roller coaster we've been on this winter. But
we've only had, you know, 80-degree swings
roughly
in the last 2 weeks.
Roughly, that's it. That's all.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Yeah.
No big deal. We have all the seasons all in one day.
Yeah, we really do.
It's literally the new weather systems in southern Minnesota and northern Iowa, is we have every season every day. Spring, summer, fall, winter.
Sure seems like it.
It seems like it for sure.
I should grease that or something.
Squeaky.
See if it doesn't squeak.
Squeaky.
Always squeaks.
So yeah, that's what we got going on. Fishing's good, bite's good. As we said, the
the bite's hot.
The bite's hot, yes. The yellows are really, they're moving around. We got a lot of predator fish pushing them around. The schools are getting moved around, they get separated. So, you know, sometimes you're chasing, but that's okay. It's good to see all those pike in here. They're helping us keep the population of the yellows down, and then keep on catching them. So that's good.
Come out and catch some of these pike.
Yeah, come out and get a pike or two. Well, 2, that's all you can take.
Yeah.
Gotta be what, 24 inches now?
Yeah, I think it's 2 over 24.
That's all you can keep.
Yep.
So that's another new regulation. And then obviously we talk about that other thing that might go into effect as well with the yellows that nobody's excited about, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
It'll be here, we can't control it, and we have to abide by the law, so we will do that, and we'll make the best of the situation, but it's not official. So until after, you know, March 1st is when they change the regulations and they get the new booklet out for the next ice season in Minnesota, so we'll see.
Yep.
Fingers crossed it'll be just like last year where it wasn't in there.
Yeah.
But
that'd be nice.
There's about a 99.9% chance it's probably going to be in there, which 30 big fish, 30 big yellows is still a lot of meat to take home.
Yeah.
And as long as everybody keeps coming out here and catching them and, you know, taking them home, and you bring big groups out, you'll still take a lot out, and hopefully we'll keep them under control for that 1 year where it's that way, and then after that we'll get back up to the 100 fish and it'll be fine. So, because 100 fish is more than enough.
Yep.
And hopefully before the season's done, I think we'll get a bunch of our buddies together and we're just going to see how many yellows we can catch with a good group of guys. And
maybe.
See, maybe if we can make it happen, we're going to try. But just stay tuned
we might
for
be
that
too
one.
busy until if the limit comes into play.
That's true.
Then we won't be able to.
We're going to try to get that done, whether it be a weekday where we can get everybody together and get the guys together and just see if we can't fill a trick or pick up bed full of them or whatever we're going to try. But we're going to go for it.
Yeah.
We're going to see what we can do. But
Well,
size is still good of these fish too. The yellows, it's nice to see. You know, size is still that 7 to 9 average, and you're getting some that are over 10. And remember, they don't get much over 14 inches anyways, and most of the time those fish that are in that 10 to 11 range are probably on the end of their lifespan because they only live for 6 years. So that's kind of another yellow bass thing to learn. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got. That's it. I got nothing else.
There really isn't too much more to cover. I mean, we got the drone footage for all the heave, crack, open water areas. And other than that, I mean, we're driving the Can-Am out. The top's just honeycombed a little bit. It's not as strong of ice as it was before, but it's still pretty decently solid ice. But, I mean, get ready for this nice weather weekend. Come out and enjoy it, catch a bunch of fish.
Take advantage
even if you
of
got to use your Lamborghinis.
Yeah, use the Lamborghinis.
It is what it is.
It's okay. Like I said, it's not far. Walk out on Bud or Hall to find these yellow schools.
Yeah.
There's some that are close to shore. Come out here, take advantage of it. Bring the kids, bring the family, and pile them up.
Definitely.
You know, take advantage. It's going to be February already this weekend, so you got one more month to pile them up before the limit happens. So take advantage of it.
Yep. Well, I suppose, as always, thank each and every one of you for watching our videos. We greatly appreciate it. Keep help us climb, get more subscribers, more views. We'll keep bringing you guys as much footage as we can, as much as we have time for. Don't forget to check out our online store and get yourself some merch.
Yeah, we'll put the link in the description, and I'll put it in the comments again like I did the last time. So you just click on the link, it pops up, you can order what you want, and they send it right to your door.
Yep.
Very nice, very convenient. Some cool gear.
One other thing, if there is anyone, we only have, I think I have 2 42-inch ice rods left and 4 or 5 27s. Yeah. So if anyone's wanting one of those yet this year, we only usually get maybe 20 of each year. So, and we do have somewhere between that 32 to 34, maybe 36-inch range. In the making, but it won't be available this year. I know that much for sure.
Yeah, we've been testing it out a little bit, but we're working on it, kind of tuning the fine details in with the rod builder. So it's good because Brad's our rod builder, does a great job. We give him all the intel, and then he puts it together.
He does a lot of work finding the blank that we want.
Yes.
That's for sure.
Yes.
But thank you guys for watching, and until the next one, tight lines.
Tight lines, guys.